May I have your attention for a few announcements, please? Arrangements for drinking water have been made at the two ends. There is a first aid center at the main entrance. There is also an ambulance with a doctor at the west gate. We hope it won't be necessary, but if at all, the bill will be sent to the Finance Ministry. Mr. Palkiwala will be addressing public meetings in a number of other cities. These are all public meetings. You may inform your friends, relations and business contacts. Madras on 5th Saturday, Bangalore on Sunday the 6th morning, New Delhi on Monday the 7th evening, Calcutta on Thursday the 10th evening, Pune on Saturday the 12th, and on the finance bill next Tuesday the 8th on the East Lawn. The public is invited. We will also be inaugurating a one-day session analyzing the finance bill. There will be a panel of experts. You can get particulars from the Forum of Free Enterprise. This is on 14th. There have been many requests for audio and video cassettes. So those of you who are interested in getting them or showing them to the service organizations and educational institutions and personal use can contact the Forum office. They will be available at cost price. There have been many requests for Mr. Palkiwala's previous writings which are out of stock. Most of them have been brought together in a book under the title We the People, which is now in the 6th edition. This is published as with all his other public writings on a no royalty basis. Copies are available at 3 points today, then ever. While you leave, please don't rush at the same time because this huge crowd has come over a period of about 2 hours. So don't try to go out in 5 minutes. You can go to the west gate or the main entrance or to the east lawns. If there is any inconvenience, in spite of all our best efforts, I apologize to you on behalf of the forum and welcome your suggestions to improve our meetings next year and year after and for many years to come. Thank you.
Mr. President, Mr. Nanachudasama, distinguished guests, on behalf of the Cricket Club of India and the Freedom of Free Enterprise, and myself also, I welcome you all with a wonderful gathering that has come. The speech on budget is an event in itself. In all countries today, more so in developing countries. And who could tell us more and well than our speaker, Nani Palkiwala? Give him a good hand. He is one of the most leading constitutional lawyers, not only of India, but even of Europe. I had an occasion to hear him with not that gathering today, but a very large gathering at Zurich a few years ago. And I have heard him also in many other European countries. His knowledge of taxation, his ability, his sincerity, and above all, as a lawyer I know, his clarity of expression is unique. And it's an education to hear him. Our country has an ancient history of 5,000 years of golden age, and probably so because it was an agricultural country, leading agriculture at the time, probably because the people were not as many as today. But even so, we have an ambition to go ahead and again gain the prominence which we originally had. And although budget is an important social and political event, but it requires special knowledge of the country to do justice to this topic. Our speaker, as I said, has given so much time to the service of the nation. I thank him. I welcome him heartily to speak to you, as we are all anxious to hear him. Perhaps you do not know, I know well, how many lakhs of people, not only thousands which we have gathered, but how many lakhs of people are anxious to read his speech tomorrow in the paper. Probably some will like to hear him on video, see him and hear him. Some will probably hear him on cassette. But as I said, it's an education to hear him, and welcome again. This is an important event for the club, forum, and all of us, in the interest of the nation. Our Mr. Nana Chudasama has kindly consented to preside. I have known him as a crusader. Crusader for what? For the poor people and middle class. I am very happy that so many, I see few members of the judiciary, I see few members of the diplomatic corps, I see industrialists, I see businessmen. Above all, I see students have gathered to hear him. Our president is a crusader, and he will give you his idea also of a budget for a poor man in this country. And I welcome him. He, as you know,
Wala, Mr. Hochan Advani, Mr. M.R. Pai, intelligent, disciplined, silent people of Bombay. When the first the budget was declared by Mr. Tiwari, the thought came to the mind that this may be a good opportunity for many Bombayites to take up to agriculture and go to rural area. This is the only way perhaps we can remove the congestion of this city. If the thought, maybe in few days you may apply your minds. If you don't apply your mind for yourself, at least suggest this to your neighbors. As far as forum is concerned, they've been doing a commendable work in this city and throughout the country. It is something which is very rare in any part of the world, such organizations doing such excellent work. But then there is always few dedicated men who run this organization, and I personally think that forum is very lucky to have people like M.R. Pai and Mr. Divakara. According to me, they are one of the most dedicated and sincere people running this organization. As far as this evening's speaker is concerned, Mr. Nani Palkhiwala, it would be futile for me to keep on speaking the same thing what other presidents spoke for last 20 or 25 times at the same place. But as far as I am concerned, I consider him a completely different individual. He is one man whom I have studied, observed and seen for last 2 decades. And I find that it is very wrong for us to just call him a good jurist or an excellent economist, because he is much more than that. When this crowd you see It's an indication, it's a great tribute to him, because this is a crowd which has not come in hired trucks. Actually, the crowd which comes in hired trucks is like Columbus going to find a country, not knowing where he is gone, for what he is gone, and why he is gone. But anyway, this is not only the thing. What I was trying to speak about Nani is that he is a different kind of a human being. He is a person who has devoted a tremendous time, energy to not only the economic field, but on various fields. And if I were to rank him, what would I call him? I would call him a legend in his own living time. We are some of those fortunate individuals living now, because if we were to work it out, I would say that in our era, in our lifetime, there will be 2 or 3 individuals who will shine out as those who were somebody who did so much for humanity, maybe in different walks of life. And immediately the 2 names that come to my mind is Mother Teresa and Nani Palkhiwala. His feelings, his desire to do. And he comes here and talks to you and explains. But if you all recollect when I said that disciplined, intelligent, but silent people of Bombay, I have always felt that in a democracy, the greatest crime people do is be a silent observer. Here this man comes and speaks to you and explains to you. But what happens after that? I think it is important that people of India realize to become vocal and start speaking out so that somebody hears it, because the people's voice is the greatest strength of democracy. And I think that works. Please try it out from this year onwards so that his mission gets a momentous and gets a great support.